In this tutorial, you will learn how to do a paired samples t-test in Excel 2016. In this comparison, we will compare the stats pre and post scores for students. So first I'll start by taking both columns, highlighting them, copying them, and pasting them into a new sheet. Now in order to do a paired samples t-test, we have to have the same number of data points in both columns. So as you can see here in row 11, we have missing data. We cannot conduct this test with missing data, so we will have to begin by removing rows for values where we have a missing point. To do this the easiest way, we will sort the data because this will put the missing values at the end. So if we go to Data, Sort, and sort first by the pre column, you can see that now if we scroll down to the bottom, the missing data for the pre value is at the bottom. So we will highlight that row, right click, and delete. Then we'll repeat this for the post. I'll highlight both columns, sort, and sort by post. Scrolling down again, you can see we have several missing values here, so I'll highlight all of those rows and delete them. Now that we have the same number of values in both columns, we can conduct our test. To do this, we'll use the Data Analysis Tool Pack, and we will, under the menu, find the t-test paired to sample for means, and click OK. In this test, Excel subtracts whatever you have as variable 1 minus variable 2. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and select my post column as variable 1 and my pre column as variable 2. You can do either order, just be sure you are consistent throughout your test. Since I have labels here, I will check the box because it says stat pre and post and I selected them. I'll leave my alpha level at 0.05. You don't have to put anything in the hypothesized mean difference box because it will default to 0, which is what we want. And then I will select an output range that is near where my data is, and then click OK. You can see here that the means for both of my groups are 6.90 and 5.59, and when it was subtracted, again, Excel subtracted in the order of my first variable minus my second. Since we had a larger value first, that led us to a positive t-statistic of 4.17. Then you can see here it's given us our critical values and our p-values for our 1 and 2-tailed test. Note that it says E here. That means that this is actually 8.76 times 10 to the negative fifth, or 0.00009 as our p-value for the 2-tailed test. Look to the appropriate p-value for your test. If we want a confidence interval on this test, we will need to first create a new column. Remember, a paired test is a test of the differences, so we will need to create a difference column. I will subtract in the same order I did in my test, so I will type in the first box equals the post score minus the pre, and then I will copy this all the way down by hovering over the corner and double clicking. Now that I have my difference scores for each sample, I will highlight that column, go to Data Analysis, and this time I will select Descriptive Statistics and click OK. My input range is that difference column. I still have labels. I'll select a new location for my output range. And then I'm going to request the summary statistics and the confidence level for mean. And I'm going to conduct a 95% confidence interval, so I will leave it at 95% and then click OK. You can see here now it's given us the mean of the differences, which will be equal to what we would get if we subtracted these two means up here. This confidence level is the calculated margin of error. It's already done all of the work for us, so we just have to calculate our lower and upper confidence interval values. So I'm going to label my lower confidence interval and my upper confidence interval. And to get these, we just take our mean of the difference. And to get the lower, we will subtract our margin of error. For the upper, we take our mean again, and we will add our margin of error. So you can see our confidence interval is between 0.68 and 1.93. Since 0 is not in our confidence interval, this indicates there is a difference between our pre and post scores, which you can see if we look at the two-tail results here, that also indicates this small p-value, that there is a significant difference between our pre and post scores.